Hello. This tutorial will cover how to create different types of test questions in your quizzes. So we'll click on Quizzes to get started. And here are some of the tests that we've already created in D2L. In the last tutorial, we created Test 4. Now I want to add specific question types to the question library. So after clicking on Question Library, I will then go to Test 4 to create specific questions for my test. First, we'll create a section by going to Section and then clicking on Create New. My first section will be a listening section. I can write my instructions here, choose to display my instructions by clicking on Show Section Name and Display Message and Image, then clicking Save. I'll create one more section, give it a name, displaying that section name by clicking Show Section Name and Save. We'll start by creating a true-false question. So click on True-False from the drop-down menu and then Create New. I can assign points here or later when I'm laying out my quiz. Here in the question text, I'll write the question that I want. I have the option of adding a picture or a sound file by clicking Add a File. Here, I can number my responses by selecting one of the options from the drop-down menu. How I want my answers to be displayed, and then my answers. Since the answer is true, we'll give 100% of the credit by selecting True. Here, I can give feedback to my students. Next, I'll save. And here I'm able to see the question that I just created. Now, let's create a different type. I'll go back to the section. Now I'd like to do a multiple choice question. So from Create New, I'll click on Multiple Choice and Create New. In the question text box is where I'll write the actual test question. I always like to randomize my options. That way the answers appear in a different order each time a student takes a test. The computer defaults to 4 options. If I want more options, I simply put in the number here and click on Add Option. If I want less options, I can always click on Remove Entry by clicking on the trash can. I'll input my answer options here and then assigning the weight to the correct answer. If I have more than one answer possible, you would simply add 100% for every correct answer, or if you want to give partial credit, you could assign a 50 for 50%, which would be half credit. Then you'll save your work. If you select long answer, you as the instructor will have to go in and grade the response that the students submit. You also have the option of adding a picture or a sound file and designating how much space students have to answer their question. You'll then select Save. If you want to see how the question appears to the students, click on View. Here, you're allowed to edit the question if needed. Now we'll go back to our question list and choose another type of question. Short answer questions can be graded by the computer. So select Short Answer Question and Create New. Input your test question here, and here is where you will add the answer. Now let's say I had a question that had 2 possible answers. I will scroll down here and add an answer. Since both are correct, both receive 100% of the credit. I'll save my response and then go back to my main page. Now under Type, I'm able to see the type of question that I've written. Fill in the blank works similar to short answer. So to create a fill in the blank, we'll click on Create New. Assign the weight. Now here it's given me an option for 2 test questions or 2 fill in the blanks. Since I only have one sentence and one blank, I'll simply delete this option. Save my response, and here it is. To view it, I click on View, and I'm able to see how it would appear to the students. To return to my question list, I'll go back to the question list and select another option. To create a matching question, select Matching Question and click on Create New. Here, I will input the directions for my testing section. So according to my directions, I have items on the left and items on the right. Here are my numbers for the left and their matches. To add more options, simply click on Add Choice. If you add a choice on the left, you must add its match on the right. The computer tells you matches are randomized when taking this question. Here, I can select how I want to weight the answers. Selecting equally weighted will weight each response equally. I then click Save, and it's going to tell me that I need to input my responses. To view how this would look to the student, click on View. Here's what the students will see, and here are the answers. That's all for creating question types in D2L. That's all for this tutorial. Our next tutorial will cover Respondus Lockdown Browser.